हेलो माय फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू इम्तिहान आईएएस। इम्तिहान आईएएस में आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। As you know, we have started the discussion of 72nd BPSC Prelims Examination Test Series. Today is our second session. We are moving towards history section of Test 1. Now let's begin with the question. So the question number 1 is, consider the following statement. The first documentary evidence of sati practice in India is found in Iran inscription. First documentary means first written evidence we found of sati practice in India in Iran inscription. Iran inscription is related to a Gupta ruler named Bhanugupt. Bhanugupt in the year 510 AD. So, do you know what has written in this Iran inscription? So, Bhanugupt had a friend named Goparaj. Goparaj was his friend who died, and his wife became Sati. Okay, so this was written in Iran inscription. So, this statement is correct. Akbar and the Peshwas. Akbar, a ruler in 15th century, and Peshwas in 18th century. They tried to ban the practice of sati in their region, but they were not completely successful. This statement is also correct. In the modern British period, the practice of sati was abolished by enacting a law during the tenure of Governor Lord William Bentinck with the efforts of, we all know, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, founder of Brahmo Samaj. He is also known as the first modern man of India, the father of Indian Renaissance. He was a very active social reformer. So he persuaded Governor Lord William Bentinck to abolish the sati practice from India. And after this act was passed, made a law in the year 1829. So sati practice was abolished from India in the year 1829. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, all the statements are correct. Next question. Consider the following statement. Slavery was prevalent in ancient India. Yes, correct. We have heard of Das and Dasis, of Maharajas, Rajas and Ranis. So this statement is correct. 9 types of slaves have been mentioned in Kautilya's Arthashastra of Mauryan period. So Kautilya, in his Arthashastra book, he has mentioned 9 types of slaves. Okay, so this statement is also correct. During the Sultanate period, Alauddin Khilji opened a department of slaves called Diwane Bandgan. This statement is wrong because this department of slaves was opened by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, not Alauddin Khilji. So Firoz Shah Tughlaq, he opened a department of slaves to manage the slaves, okay, in named as Diwane Bandgan. Next, Firoz Shah Tughlaq had banned slave trade in medieval period. This statement is also true. Firoz Shah Tughlaq had banned slave trade in his period. So 1, 2 and 4, option D is correct. Okay, next question. Consider the following statement with reference to the second round table conference. So we all know the second round table conference, it started from 7th of September 7th September 1930 to 1st of December 1930. This was the date. This was the only conference in which Gandhiji attended. He went to London to attend this conference. He went to London by a ship named as SS Rajputana. And there were many people who went with him, like Madan Mohan Malviya, like Sarojini Naidu, and many other more people went with him. So this statement is correct. Gandhiji participated in this conference as a representative of Congress. Next statement is, Ramsay MacDonald was Prime Minister of at the time of this conference. This is also true because he only announced the communal award. This conference was a complete failure due to dispute over the communal problem because B.R. Ambedkar, he wanted a separate, means some separate seats for depressed class. He was a leader of depressed class, which Gandhiji outrightly rejected. Which Gandhiji rejected, and this whole conference became a complete failure. Now, during this conference, Winston Churchill called Gandhiji a half-naked fakir. So, in this conference only, Winston Churchill called Gandhiji a half-naked fakir. So, these statements are correct, all these statements. Option D is the answer. Next. In 1819, Surendranath Banerjee broke away from Indian National Congress and formed which organization? So, Surendranath Banerjee, we all know, was associated with Indian Association also. Association, which is known as precursor of Congress. Precursor of Congress. Okay, so we all know he was a very active leader. He was Swadeshi movement. Swadeshi movement. After the partition of Bengal in 1905, Swadeshi movement started in the year 1906, and he was the most active leader in this Swadeshi movement. But in 1918, with some liberal leaders, other liberal leaders, he broke away from Indian National Congress and formed Indian Liberal Association. Okay, and what was the purpose of this Liberal Association? The purpose of this association was to cooperate with the government. To cooperate with the government. So this was the purpose. So he found Indian Liberal Association. Option B will be the answer. Next. Consider the following statement with reference to Swaraj Party. So we all know Swaraj Party is found in the year 1923 by C.R. Das, Chittaranjan Das and Motilal Nehru. Okay, what had happened after the non-cooperation movement was called off by Gandhiji by Chaura Chauri incident? We all know Chaura Chauri, which happened on 5th of Feb 1922. After this, Gandhiji called off his non-cooperation movement, and that period became very stagnant. So C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru, they came up with a unique idea that they wanted to enter into the government and protest from inside. Okay, so this idea was presented in Gaya Congress session of 1922, which was outrightly rejected by the congressmen. So after that rejection, C.R. Das resigned from his chairmanship. He was the chairman of this session. He resigned from his chairmanship, and then he formed the Swaraj Party with Motilal Nehru in the next year 1923. Next, Motilal Nehru was made the first president of Swaraj Party. This statement is wrong because not Motilal Nehru, he was the general secretary. The president was C.R. Das. Okay. Next, Swaraj Party was recognized in the special session of the Congress held in Delhi in September 1923. So, the Congress also recognized the Swaraj Party. Okay, in special session of in September. So option 1 and 3 are correct. Option D is the correct answer. Next. During the tenure of which was Viceroy was the first Delhi Darbar held? So there were 3 Delhi Darbars. Okay. First was held in the year 1872 in the time of Lord Lytton. Lord Lytton. What happened in this Delhi Darbar? You know, in this Delhi Darbar, Queen Victoria was announced as the Empress of India, and she was given the title of Kaisare Hind. Kaisare Hind. Okay, and she was not present at that Delhi Darbar. Only in her, means she was not there. Still, this Delhi Darbar happened in her name. Okay, the second one happened in the year 19 not, I think 4. Sorry, 1902, I think 2 or 4. I don't remember the exact year. I think it's 1902. Okay, in the time of Lord Curzon. Lord Curzon. And the third one, we all know, in the time of Harding, 1911, Delhi Darbar, in which the capital of India was shifted from Calcutta to Delhi. In this Delhi Darbar, and partition of Bengal was called off in this Delhi Darbar. So, first Delhi Darbar was held in the time of Lord Lytton, and C option is the answer. So, the next question is, who among the following was associated with new lamps for old? So the answer is Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo was a very literate person. He received his education from London, and at the age of 18 years, he passed the ICS examination. Okay, but he was not commissioned, he was denied service due to his failure in horse riding. So after that, he came to India, and he was at many administrative posts in the state of Baroda. State of Baroda, he worked there. He wrote this New Lamps for Old in a newspaper called Indu Prakash. He was also associated with the publication of Yugantar and many other radical magazines also. In the year 1910, he was prosecuted under the conspiracy case, the Alipur conspiracy case. But C.R. Das was his lawyer, Chitranjan Das, and he was acquitted honorably. After that, he renounced all his political careers and went to Puducherry. At that time, it was Pondicherry. And there he wrote many books, like his most famous is Life Divine. Okay. So this was Sri Aurobindo. Next. Which Viceroy called the Congress an organization of traitors? So organization of traitors was called by Lord Dufferin. Congress was formed in the year 1885 by A.O. Hume, and at that time the Viceroy of India was Lord Dufferin, and he only called it an organization of traitors. Okay, so next question. Which of the following statement is true with reference to Sundarendranath Banerjee? Elected to the ICS in 1869, from where he was dismissed in 1873. I told you earlier also. So this statement is correct. Indian Association was established in 1876. This was also correct. In 1883, the Indian National Conference was held in Calcutta. Okay, first conference of Indian National was held in year 1883, and the second one held in 1885, same time as the formation of Congress. So he was unable to attend the inaugural session of the Congress. Okay. He edited a newspaper named Bengali. All the four statements are correct related to Surendranath Banerjee. Next. Consider the following statement with reference to Congress. Its first session was to be held in Bombay, but due to the spread of plague in Bombay, it was organized in Pune. Wrong. Its first session was to be held in Pune, but due to the spread of plague in Pune, this session was then transferred to Bombay. Gokul Das, Sanskrit College. Sanskrit College. The first session held here. Initially, it was named as Indian National Union. This statement is correct. Initially, it was named Indian National Union, but after some time, but later, Dadabhai Naroji suggested that no, it should be Indian National Congress. So, again, it was changed to Indian National Congress. The Viceroy of India at the time of its establishment was Lord Ripon. No, it was Lord Dufferin. Next, 72 members participated in its first session. Yes, this statement is correct. 72 members. There were so many lawyers and journalists who participated in this session, like Badruddin Tayyabji, W.C. Banerjee, Firoz Shah Mehta. There were too many of them. Okay, who attended the first session of the Congress. So, statement. Okay, 2 and 4 are correct. B is the correct answer. Next. Consider the following statement. Rabindranath Tagore called Swami Vivekananda the spiritual father of the modern national movement. This statement is wrong. It was not Rabindranath Tagore who called him the spiritual father of modern Indian movement, but Subhash Chandra Bose. Yeah. Subhash Chandra Bose. He called him the spiritual father of modern national movement. So his earlier name was Narendranath Banerjee. We all know that. Swami Vivekananda published magazines named Prabuddha Bharat in English and Udbodhan in Bengali. There were so many literary works done by Swami Vivekananda, but these two were very famous. Okay. Influenced by Vivekananda, a foreign woman came to India with him who was known as Sister Nivedita. She was an Irish lady. Named Margaret Noble. She was so much influenced by Swami Vivekananda. Where he went? He went to the first religion conference which was held in the year 1893. Okay, in Chicago, USA. Okay, Swami Vivekananda's childhood name was Narendranath Datta. So, statement 2, 3 and 4 are correct, and which of the statement is not correct? Only first statement, A, would be the answer here. Okay. Next. Consider the following statement with reference to Sandler Commission. So, in the year 1917, Sandler Commission was set up to see the see the progress of the universities, to study the universities. Okay. So, the first statement, in 1917, the government appointed a commission under the leadership of Dr. Michael Sadler to study the problems of the university. Basically, it was the Calcutta University. Okay. So, this statement is correct. This commission included two Indian members, Asutosh Mukherjee and Dr. Ziauddin Ahmed. This statement is also correct. On the basis of Sadler Commission report, universities were established in Mysore, Patna. We all know Patna University was established in the year 1917. Banaras, Aligarh, Dhaka, Lucknow, and Hyderabad. This statement is absolutely correct. So when the report of this commission came, they largely criticized the Universities Act. Universities Act 1904. And they also made a special provision for higher education for women. They encouraged women education. So the answer is 1, 2 and 3 all are correct. 1, 2 and 3, option C is the answer. Okay, next. Consider the following statements. Shak ruler Rudradaman innovated the Sudarshan Lake in Gujarat. Yes, true. But who made it? Who made the Sudarshan Lake? So there was a provincial governor of Mauryan period under Chandragupta Maurya. His name was Pushyagupta. Pushyagupta. He made the Sudarshan Lake. Okay. And Rudradaman renovated the Sudarshan Lake after some intense breakage of the boundary of the lake. So all the water flown away. Boundary. Okay. Of the lake. The Satvahana ruler Satkarni, Gautami Putra Satkarni, Gautami Putra Satkarni established matrimonial relations with the Shakas. This is 2. This Sudarshan Lake was once again renovated by Gupta ruler Skandgupta. So, it was in 5th century. So, the Sudarshan Lake was made by Pushyagupta in 4th century BC, in the Mauryan time, and it was renovated by Rudradaman in 150 CE. Again, it was renovated by Skandgupta in 5th century. Okay, so both the statements are correct. C is the answer. Next. In which text is the dialogue between King Ajatashatru of Magad and Buddha described? So King Ajatashatru is the ruler of Haryak dynasty. Who was the founder? Bimbisar was the founder of this dynasty, and Buddha was contemporary to Bimbisar and his son Ajatashatru. This Haryak dynasty is also known as Pitrahanta dynasty. Do you know what? Pitrahanta means Ajatashatru killed Bimbisar to grab his throne, and Ajatashatru's son Udayin, who established Patna as his capital, Udayin, who established Patna as his capital, he also killed his father to get his place. Okay. So what was the text? Written in Sut Pitaka. The Buddhist text, Sut Pitaka, it contains the dialogue between the king Ajatashatru of Magad and Buddha. So what was there in dialogue? So Buddha told him that there is a there the happiness and sorrow is measured in predetermined quantities. Happiness and sorrow, all what you get is predetermined in quantities. You cannot increase it and you cannot decrease it. You just cannot change it. Whatever you are bound to get, you are going to get. Either it is happiness, what amount of happiness, and what amount of sorrow you will get. So this was the dialogue between King Ajatashatru and Buddha. Option B is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements. The method of functioning of the Buddhist Sangha was based on the tradition of Ganas. So what was Buddhist Sangha? Only men were allowed first. Men were allowed to join the Sanghas and no women was allowed. Buddha's aunt Maha Prajapati Gautami became the first Theri to join the Sangha. Okay. So after some time, Buddha's favorite disciple Anand, he persuaded Buddha to allow women to join the Sangha, and Buddha's aunt Mahaprajapati Gautami, who brought up Buddha after the death of his mother, she was the first Theri. Theri were the women who were known to already attained Nirvana. Okay, so she was the first Theri, means first female Gana to join the Sangha. So both the statement are true. Option C is the answer. Next, consider the following statements with reference to the period of Krishna Deva Raya. So Krishna Deva Raya, he was the king of Vijayanagar Empire. We all know Vijayanagar Empire, Krishna Deva Raya, and he was a ruler of which dynasty? Tuluva dynasty. There were 4 dynasties in South India. Vijayanagar, we all know. The first one was Sangam dynasty, founded by Harihar and Bukka. Second is Suluva. Third is Tuluva. And the fourth one is Aravidu. So Krishna Deva Raya was the most prominent king of Tuluva dynasty of Vijayanagar Empire. So let's start the sentences. During his period, the area between Tungabhadra and Krishna rivers was acquired. True. Next is credited with adding magnificent gopurams to temples. So Vijayanagar, this Krishna Deva Raya was credited with adding magnificent gopurams. What are the gopurams? These are the gates. These are the gates of the temples, the vast, the magnificent, the more decorated, big gates to temples. So he built all these gates, the massive gates. Krishna Deva Raya himself wrote a book named Amukta Malyad in Kannad. No, not in Kannad, but in Telugu. He was a very learned person, and he was fond of art and literature, and he himself wrote this book Amukta Malyad in Telugu language. So this statement is not correct. Option A is the answer. 1 and 2 are correct. Okay, next. In whose kingdom was the famous political system Amar Nayak system? So Amar Nayak system basically related to Ikta system of Sultanate period. Ikta system of Sultanate period. It was very much related to that, and this is prevalent in Vijayanagar. What was Ikta system? Means giving the land to military journals to rule over. Okay, the territory belongs to the main king, but he divided into different iktas. the districts were called iktas, and the holder of the iktas were known as iktedars. So this was given to iktedars. They can rule over there, they can collect the taxes, they can repair the whatever the public infrastructure was there, and they have to keep a standing army also. So all these were done by the iktedars, and the same system, almost the same system, is this Amar Nayak system, which was prevalent in Vijayanagar Empire. Okay. So next question is, in the context of Santhals, Damine Ko was related to which of the following? So the Damine Ko was the land given to the Santhals to settle down. Okay. In the foothills of Rajmahal Hills. Rajmahal Hills. So we all know the Santhal rebellion in the year 1856, and this was given in 1832. This land was given to them to settle down in 1832. So this was the answer A. Which of the following led to the wave of public outrage that led to the massacre by the British at Jallianwala Bagh? We all know this is the Rowlatt Act, which was passed in March 1919. Under this act, there was a provision that any person who was likely to disturb the peace, that means who Britishers think that they will do something which is not very much suitable for the peace, they can be arrested and keep in jail for 2 years without any trial. This act made a wave of public outrage which led to the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So this act was passed in March 1919, and the Jallianwala Bagh massacre held on 13th April 1919. Okay, so Rowlatt Act. No appeal, no dalil, no appeal, no dalil, no. What was that? No appeal, no dalil, and no vakil. So this was the famous line of Rowlatt Act. Next, who was the Viceroy of India when Gandhiji did salt march to Dandi? So the Viceroy of India was Lord Irwin, and Gandhiji informed beforehand, before starting the Dandi march, to Lord Irwin, but he did not take it too much seriously at that time. So salt march was started on 12th of March. 12th March 1930 and ended on 6th of April. 6th of April 1930. The duration is 24 days. And when he reached to the seashore, okay, so there he break the salt law and started the civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement. Civil disobedience movement. Okay, so Lord Irwin was the Viceroy of India. Next. During the reign of which Magad emperor did Bihar first emerge as a political power? So, Bihar emerged at the time of Bimbisar. He established the first dynasty here, named as Haryak dynasty. And he was a very able ruler. He was very able, and he believed in matrimonial alliances. Matrimonial alliances. He married 3 princes of different dynasties. His son was Ajatashatru. I told you about him beforehand, Ajatashatru. And his son was Udayin, who established Patna as his capital. So, Bimbisar is the answer, option A. Next question is, who was the first Greek writer to mention India? The first Greek who wrote about India was Skylax. Skylax, who was Skylax? Skylax was a provincial governor. Provincial governor under Iranian ruler. Who was the ruler of Iran that time? Darius I. So Darius I sent Skylax to study, to know about the northwest region till Indus. Okay, northwest region. Northwest region up to the Indus River. So when he went back, he wrote this, and he was the first Greek writer to mention about India. So 1A is the answer. Next. In which context were the words Katka and Skandavar used in the inscriptions of the Satvahana period? So Katka and Skandavar are synonyms to military camp. This shows the military nature of the Satvahana. These words are repeatedly used in their inscriptions. Okay, so this shows the military nature of Satvahana. Okay. So, next, which of the following is the Persian translation of Mahabharata? So, the Persian translation of Mahabharata is Razmnama. It was commissioned under the Akbar in 16th century. So Akbar was a very religiously liberal ruler. He wanted to know about other religions also. So he made Mahabharata translated to Persian language, which was known as Razmnama. Okay, option A is the answer. Next. Who defeated the Nizam of Hyderabad in the Battle of Palkhed? The Battle of Palkhed happened on 28th Feb in 1728. And who was the winner? The Peshwa Bajirao first was the winner, and the loser who was defeated by Peshwa Bajirao was Asaf Jah. Asaf Jah first of Hyderabad. Okay. So, Battle of Palkheda, Peshwa Bajirao first won the battle, and Asaf Jah first of Hyderabad, he lost the battle, and the battle held on 28th of Feb 1728. Okay. Next question. Who said that the real awareness came in India only after the partition of Bengal? The partition of Bengal was a very tragic, it was a very intense act which was done by the British, and it created a lot of rage, a lot of anger in the people, and this statement was given by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so partition of Bengal 1905, and when the partition of Bengal called off by the third Delhi Darbar in the year 1911. So Mahatma Gandhi is the answer, option C. Next question. Which Sikh patriot was tried and hanged by the British government for the murder of Sir Michael O'Dwyer? So we all know, for the murder of Sir Michael O'Dwyer, Sardar Udham Singh was tried and hanged by the British for the murder of Sir Michael O'Dwyer. And why he murdered him? Because of the Jallianwala massacre. Jallianwala Bagh massacre, which was held in 1919, and he killed Michael O'Dwyer in the year 1940. So the answer is Sardar Udham Singh, option C. Next question. Match the list 1 with list 2 and select the correct answer. So let's match it. Annie Besant wrote New India. Okay. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad wrote Al Hilal. These are the very famous books. Maulana Muhammad Ali wrote Comrade. And the Aurobindo Ghosh, he wrote Vande Mataram. So the option is 4, 4, 3, 1, 2. 4, 3, 1 and 2. Okay. So option B is the answer here. Next. On which occasion did Gandhi renounce the title of Kaisar-e-Hind? So his first his first movement only he renounced the title, like non-cooperation movement. He not only renounced the title of Kaisar-e-Hind, but Zulu award, Boer award, whatever award he got from the British, he renounced all his awards. Okay, in the time period of non-cooperation movement. So non-cooperation movement, it is started from 1st of August 1920. Okay, and on this date, Bal Gangadhar Tilak died. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, who was also a very prominent leader of our freedom movement, he died on the same date. So, non-cooperation movement A is the answer. Next, commenting on the death of Gopal Krishna Gokhale in the year 1915, who said truth was the source of all his actions? So, the political guru of Mahatma Gandhi was Gopal Krishna Gokhale, and on his death, Mahatma Gandhi said truth was the source of all his actions. So, the answer would be option A, Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. He was the political guru of him. Which title was assumed by Nanya Dev, the founder of Karnat dynasty? So, Karnat dynasty was established by Nanya Dev in Mithila region of Bihar. Okay, and the title he assumed was Karnatakul Bhushan. Karnatakul Bhushan. In this period, the kings, to show their personification, the glory, the magnificence, they assumed these huge titles. Okay, so the title assumed by him was Karnatakul Bhushan. Next, consider the following statement. Sorry, this is not the. Next, in 1770 AD, Purnia district of Bihar was the center of Sannyasi revolt. Yes, was the center of Sannyasi revolt. So the Sannyasi revolt is started from 1863 and 1763. 1763, it was not a complete, means one revolution or one movement. It was a series of revolution. Okay, what happened in 1770? There was a very infamous Bengal famine. Bengal famine happened in 1770. At that time, this revolt became at its peak. Sannyasi revolt. Sannyasi revolt was what? By sannyasis and fakirs. Muslims also were involved. They were called fakirs. Sannyasi and fakirs. And what they were against of the operation policies of British. They were draining the economic wealth of India, and they were against the oppressive views and policies of the Britishers. So this was the Sannyasi revolt. Option B is the answer. At that time, Purnia district of Bihar, at the time of Bengal famine, it became the center of sannyasi revolt. Next, which area of Bihar remained unaffected during the revolt of 1857? So all these, Ara, we know, there were Veer Kuwar Singh and all. Gaya also was very active. Champaran also very active. But Munger was not at all disturbed by 1857 revolt. So it remained ineffective. So Champaran, we all know Sugoli mutiny. Mutiny at that time in Champaran. Ara, we know. So Munger remained unaffected at the time of revolt of 1857. Next. Who was the founder of Boys Association in Bihar? So the founder of Boys Association is Suryadev Narayan Verma. He was the founder of Boys Association, and this association was found on Darbhanga Maharaj property. He was also very much active. Maharaj land. Okay, so Darbhanga Maharaj himself was very much active in the movement against the British, in the Indian national movement, and the association, a boys' association in Bihar, was founded by Suryadev Narayan Verma. Many other people, many other prominent names were also there, like Bihari Banerjee, associated with boys' association. Bihari Banerjee, he was government secretary. Okay, so he was also associated with this boys association, and option D is the answer. So here we come to the end of the history session. I hope you all are studying for your exam, because the days are very less now and you have to keep repeating and keep practicing, as it is said that revision is the key to the success. So till we meet again in the next session, till keep studying and goodbye.